Well, hello there, and welcome to Spring 2017 registration, which is just right around the corner. Since it's been a little while since you have registered, I wanted to give you a couple of quick reminders of what you could be doing to probably make it a little bit easier. Would make it a little easier on you. It definitely will make it easier on me and Dr. Bennett, Dr. Chokas, Dr. Connor, Mr. Warther, Dr. Wilson, Ms. Robinson, whomever it is that you will be going to register. If you'll do a little bit of preparation ahead of time and walk into that meeting with a pretty good idea of what you want, the meeting will go very, very quickly. And as I said in the last video that I recorded back in the spring semester, knowing what you want, having a plan, turns a potentially 30-minute to an hour meeting for registration into 10 minutes and allows us to spend more time talking about how things are going, how you're feeling, how you think you're doing, where you're having problems, what you want to do with your life, what's changed in the last several months, how you're feeling about your major, if you're not at a point yet where you've declared your major, where you think that you want to go. And the more we know about that kind of stuff, the better we can advise you on what you should be taking, what makes the most sense, what you need to be thinking towards in another semester or two. Registration in college is an awful lot of like a chess game in a lot of ways, or a checkers game in a lot of ways. You can't just be thinking about what you're doing right now. You got to be thinking about what's going to happen next semester and next year, and doing things now that prepare you to be where you want to be. If you want to be a manager in 10 years, you don't just hope that happens. You're doing things now to prepare for that. And that's what registration is all about, and advising is all about, is forcing us to think beyond tomorrow and thinking more in terms of a year from now, or a year and a half from now. If you were in the fall 2014 University 1000 class, you're finishing up your 5th semester of college. You're more than halfway done. And if you have been one of those that has really focused on it right and put the effort into it, and you haven't had any withdrawals, you haven't had any drops, you haven't had any failures, repeats, anything like that, you're really seriously approaching the point where you're starting to think about graduation paperwork in another semester or so. You're close enough to be able to do that. If you were in the fall 2015 University 1000 class, then you are finishing up your 2nd year, and that is pretty amazing. I have a daughter who's going to be going off to college next year, and I'm starting to think in terms that your parents thought about just a few years ago. So first of all, congratulations on getting as far as you have. It's a big challenge, and we tried to really stress to you in University 1000 a few semesters ago, a couple of years ago in some cases, that it's not as easy as you really want to think it is. It takes a whole different mindset. The fact that you're watching this video means that you have completed a year or two of college, and that is an amazing thing, and my congratulations to you. I really am proud of you for what you've done. There's still more to do, and it gets harder as you go. Senior level courses a lot harder than junior or sophomore or freshman level courses, so you got to stay true to what you're doing. Second thing I want to say, besides congratulations on what you've accomplished, and best of luck to you in what you're about to undertake, is to always remember that I'm one of your first contact points here at GSW through GSW Experience University 1000, but the fact that I'm not your advisor, the fact that I am not your teacher in a lot of your classes, doesn't mean that my role has changed. My role is to support you, to encourage you, to assist you in any way that I can. And I am here in my office probably more than just about any other faculty member in the School of Business. So please always feel like you have my permission and my encouragement to come by and poke your head in the door and sit down and chat a little bit, talk about what's going on. I am here for you. Tried to reinforce the last time I did one of these videos that unfortunately some professors think that you're here for me, but I realize that really I'm here for you. So if you need me, come find me. All right, now in terms of registration, the email that I sent you that had the link to this particular video and the link to the spring 2017 schedule of courses also had a link that you could print out that has this particular form. And I really want to encourage you to use something like this as you are preparing to register. Start by going to DegreeWorks, looking to see where the holes are. My encouragement to all of my advisees is that For the first 2 years, they try to really hit about 80% of their schedule, maybe 4 classes out of 5. If you're taking 5 classes, make 4 of them core somehow. That's the area A, B, C, D, E, and F, and the PE. 4 out of 5 core courses. And maybe the 5th one is something like Principles of Management or Principles of Marketing or Intro to HR or something like that that opens up the doors to the future classes. Unfortunately, sometimes what we see happening is that once you start getting to the point where you can register for upper level management or accounting or whatever classes, you start to really focus on those things and you don't finish the core. So start with DegreeWorks, look at the core that you're missing, and try to get at least one of those out of the way, especially if it's like the lab science or a math class or something that you're not particularly strong in, or a history class if you're not strong there. Get that into a semester where you've got a couple of classes that you feel good about so that you can balance the load a little bit. As a quick reminder of this form, the first thing that I have got is a little column for the CRN, that 4-digit number that we need to use. Let's see if I can figure out how to line this thing up to where you can actually see it. There you go. It's backwards as I look at my screen, so it's hard for me to figure out what it is that I'm pointing at. There we go. The CRN number right there. That 8-digit number that helps us with registration. Then there's a column for the course, which would be like BUSA 2106, or it'd be Management 3600 or something like that. Then I've got a column where you can put the name of the course, like Principles of Management or Biology or whatever. All right, the next little column over here is area. That is where I would put in something like it's Area A if it's Comp 1, or it's Area B if it's the World and its Peoples, or it's Area PE if it's the CPR class, or it's BC for Business Core if it is Principles of Management, those kinds of things, so that you can quickly identify the classes that really are going to help you the most to get through the early obstacles. And then the last column in that little section there is, if I can read this through the back of the paper, I won't even try, the teacher. Because I know that sometimes when you have several options, you prefer to get this teacher instead of that teacher. So if you put a note of who the teacher is, it can help you go back later to find things out, make decisions. And then I've got it broken up into Monday, Wednesday classes. Where is that thing on the screen? Monday, Wednesday classes at the different time blocks that we have classes available, and Tuesday, Thursday classes at the same time blocks. So I would say, open up DegreeWorks, find out where you have holes, make a note on a scrap piece of paper, that I need biology and lab, I need American government, I need World Civ, I want to go ahead and try to take Principles of Management, I want to take Accounting 1, I want to take Macroeconomics, and pull out a list of, 8 or 9 classes that you'd like to have. In the event that one or more of your top choices is already full, you've already got the information you need for the other classes. Then go to the schedule and see when those classes are offered. And let's say that biology is offered 4 different times. So fill in that particular item on all of the 4 places where it's offered to put the CR in for that particular section of it, the time that is appropriate, the teacher who's doing it, and all that kind of stuff. So by the time you've gone through your 8 classes, you may have 16 or 20 or whatever, depending on what the classes are, different options at different times. And then when you look at this thing later, you got 3 options in Monday, Wednesday at 9:30. And then you can say, you know what, of those 3 options, I like this one the best. But you know what, if I take this one, it's the only time that other one's offered and I couldn't take it. So I'm going to have to go with plan B here. Where else do I have the other class offered? And then you can start kind of highlighting or starring or something, the combination of classes that work the best for you with your schedule. Keep in mind that although you don't want to take 8 o'clock classes, at some point probably in college, if you haven't already done so, you're going to have to. For example, Environment of Business is only offered at 8 o'clock in the morning. I hate it for you, but that's a legal-based, law-based class. It requires a lawyer to teach it. And the only lawyers that we've got work full-time. So we have a lawyer who comes at 8 o'clock in the morning 2 days a week to teach this class, and then he goes to his law office. So we have to teach it when he's available. So for example, Environment of Business is only 8 o'clock. Anyway, I would suggest that you go through this sheet or something like it. You may have your own version of this, but there's no point in creating something if you don't have something. Just use the one that I've got. Fill this thing out, and when you get ready to talk to your advisor, either by making an appointment, and as I film this, I walk around the office and I see where 2 or 3 advisors already have sign-up sheets outside their door for you to come by and start making appointments. Bring this to your advisement appointment. And if you can give this to your advisor, Dr. Bennett can glance at this and say, okay, I can see the 6 that you'd like to take or the 4 you'd like to take or whatever. When I look at DegreeWorks, it looks like it's filling in the right holes. You're making progress towards graduation. Cool. What's going on? Great. Have a great day. This will make it a whole lot easier and gives you some control. It's frustrating as an advisor for you to walk in here and say, what should I take? Because I haven't even thought about it. We're not going to be real excited about helping you, to be honest with you, and we may ask you to come back another time after you've done something like this. If you'll go ahead and do this, it'll make your advisement appointment much more meaningful, much more rich, give you an opportunity to interact with your advisor. Some of you are getting very close to the point where you can actually declare your major and you won't be a pre-business or a pre-marketing anymore. You can be a full-fledged accounting major or a full-fledged marketing major. And we'll hand you off to another advisor who gets you to the point of graduation. So, summary thing here, congratulations on what you've accomplished. There's still a little bit to go, so don't give up. I tell my GSW Experience class right now, if you're in sports, the coach tells you to play to the final whistle. Never, ever give up until that whistle is blown. Graduation is not here. It's close. You're going to be walking across the stage before you know it with your parents smiling in the stands, taking pictures right and left. Don't give up until that day. And then you've got a brand new goal to start all over again. Number 2, I'm always available and I'm willing to talk to you. My memory is horrible. You may knock on the door and come in and I'm racing to try to remember what your name is. You may have to remind me of who you are, but the face is going to be familiar. And I'm a very friendly guy, even if I have a bad memory. So come and talk to me. If you'd like to talk about some things related to schedule before you go talk to your official advisor, we can do that. If you just want to talk about what's going on, we can do that. If you just need an ear or you need a friend, I'm here. I'm available. And then thirdly, the more you plan for advising, the better and the easier and the faster it's going to go. So, excuse me. Hopefully, this little video gives you a reminder of what you can do to be getting ready, and you'll have the opportunity here in the next few days before your advisement appointment to start making some plans. I'll encourage you to come on through the School of Business, to go find your advisor's office, to look for the sheet of paper outside his or her door on the wall, and to block your name in for an appointment. I think Dr. Chokas does 15-minute appointments because she really wants you to be prepared so she can get you in and out. I usually block off half-hour appointments, and if it's less than that, I got a little bit of break before the next guy comes through. Anyway, let's call it final there, and we'll close this video. Give me a call at 931-4455 or email me, mark.grimes@gsw.edu, if you have any questions. Otherwise, I hope things are going well for you, and I would love to see you.